Hello students, I am Navila Tariq. Today we'll continue with page number 35 of the chapter Making of a Scientist. Till now we have studied in this chapter how Richard Ebright grew up to be a great scientist that was just because of the passion that he had of collecting butterflies. How he used to collect butterflies, especially the monarch butterflies. He used to tag those butterflies and then started raising the butterflies in his own basement. Now it's also described over here that his mother was a great helpmate to him. She really helped him in his achievements, in his research, and really encouraged him in learning. Okay, till now we had even studied that Richard Ebright found this butterfly tagging, this procedure, to be very tedious. He thought that the procedure would take a lot of time, and in fact, the results were diminishing. Out of the 1,000 butterflies that he tagged, only 2 were recaptured. So, this work seemed to him quite boring. Now, we'll start reading. Then in the 7th grade, he got a hint of what real science is when he entered a county science fair and lost. It was really a sad feeling to sit there and not get anything while everybody else had won something. Now it's said over here that when Ebright was in the 7th grade, he came to know, he realized what the real science was. Once he took participation in the county science fair. Now, county means regional. He took part in the regional science fair, and there he did not win, and instead he was lost. It was really a very sad feeling as he sat there and he saw that the other participants had won and he never won. He never won any prize. Ebright said his entry was slides of frog tissues which he showed under a microscope. He realized the winners had tried to do real experiments, not simply make a neat display. Now he is saying that the experiment that he showed in the science fair was about the frog of tissues. He made a slide showing the frog tissues under a microscope. Now this experiment of his was just a display, just a realistic display instead of any such real experiment. And over there the participants who won, actually they showed experiments. So he understood that he is supposed to show some real experiments, then only he will be able to win. Already the competitive spirit that drives Richard Ebright was appearing. I knew that for the next year's fair I would have to do a real experiment, he said. The subject I knew most about was the insect work I'd been doing in the past several years. Now he understood that, maintaining his competitive spirit and winning in the contest, he will have to do some real experiment for the next year's science fair. And he also understood that the subject that he had the great knowledge was about the insects, that is the butterfly that he was capturing from many years. So he thought that he would actually do some experiment on the butterflies that he was interested in. So he wrote to Dr. Ukert for ideas. Back came a stack of suggestions for experiments. Those kept Ebright busy all through his high school and led to prize projects in county and international science fair. Now, to get suggestions, to get advice, he wrote to Dr. Ukert, who was the research professor at the Toronto University. He wrote him to get some decisions on the experiments that he should perform at the science fair. Now, Dr. Ukert gave him many stack of suggestions. Stack means pile, means many suggestions he gave him, and all through the high school he was busy doing those experiments, and then he won many awards not only in the county science fair but also at the international science fairs. For his 8th grade project, Ebright tried to find a cause of the viral disease that kills nearly all monarch caterpillars every few years. Now, in the 7th grade, he failed. He never won any prize at the county science fair because his experiment was not real. But then, when he was in the 8th grade, the very next year, he showed an experiment, a project in which he made it clear that why do monarch butterflies die every year. Now, monarch caterpillars. Now, when a female monarch lays eggs and then and then turns into a caterpillar, these caterpillars die every year because of some viral diseases. Ebright thought that the disease might be carried by a beetle. He tried raising caterpillars in the presence of beetles. I didn't get any results, he said, but I went ahead and showed that I had tried the experiment and this time I won. Now, he thought that Ebright thought that these caterpillars die because of some viral diseases that are carried by the insect, that is beetle. So to prove whether it was right or wrong, he started raising caterpillars in the presence of beetles. मतलब caterpillars को और beetles को साथ में ही वो उसने रेस करना स्टार्ट किया. इन दोनों को साथ में रेस करने से और या साथ में एक साथ रखने से भी उसे कोई रिजल्ट नहीं मिला. इट वॉज नॉट प्रूव्ड वेदर दिस वायरल डिजीज इज बिकॉज बीटल और नॉट, बट दिस एक्सपेरिमेंट, सिंस इट वॉज क्वाइट रियल, he tried this experiment in the science fair and this time he won the competition. The next year his science fair project was testing the theory that viceroy butterflies copy monarch. The theory was that viceroys look like monarch because monarchs don't taste good to birds. Now students, this is important. These two paragraphs, this paragraph and the last paragraph of this page is very important. So you all can mark with the pencil over there, or you all can put these two paragraphs in brackets. Now try to understand what is the monarch butterfly and what is the viceroy butterfly. As you can see in the picture, the butterfly that is situated on the top portion of the column is the monarch butterfly, और जो butterfly नीचे की तरफ बनी है वो है viceroy butterfly. Now ऐसा कहा जाता था कि viceroy butterflies एक species है butterfly की, वो monarch butterfly की copy करती है. मतलब वो मोनार्क बटरफ्लाई की तरह दिखना चाहती है, मोनार्क बटरफ्लाई की तरह उसकी हैबिट्स और अपना नेचर रखना चाहती है वो. वाई, ऐसा क्यों है? लोगों का ये मानना था कि वॉइसरॉय बटरफ्लाइज मोनार्क बटरफ्लाइज की इसलिए कॉपी करती हैं बिकॉज मोनार्क बटरफ्लाइज डोंट टेस्ट गुड टू बर्ड्स. मतलब जो चिड़िया होती है, बर्ड्स होती हैं, वो मोनार्क बटरफ्लाइज को नहीं खाती क्योंकि उनको उनका टेस्ट पसंद नहीं आता. लेकिन वॉइसरॉय बटरफ्लाइज को ज़्यादातर सारी चिड़िया खा जाती हैं. तो वॉइसरॉय मोनार्क की इसलिए कॉपी करती है ताकि वो बर्ड का फूड ना बन पाए. इन ऑर्डर टू सेव इट्स लाइफ इट ट्राइज टू कॉपी मोनार्क बटरफ्लाई. So the viceroys on the other hand do taste good to birds. So the more they look like monarchs, the less likely they are to become a bird's dinner. As I told you all, viceroy butterflies taste good to birds. So they try to copy monarchs so that they can save themselves to be birds' food. Okay. Ebright's project was to see whether in fact birds would eat monarchs. He found that a starling would not eat ordinary bird food. It would eat all the monarchs it could get. Now, एब्राइट ने जो अपना नेक्स्ट ईयर मतलब अपनी 9th ग्रेड में जो प्रोजेक्ट बनाया, एक्चुअली उसमें वो ये बताना चाहते थे कि जो वॉइसरॉय और मोनार्क बटरफ्लाइज हैं, इन दोनों के बीच में जो सिमिलैरिटी है अपीयरेंस में, या फिर जो वॉइसरॉय बटरफ्लाई मोनार्क को कॉपी करती हैं, तो क्या वो इसलिए करती हैं क्योंकि मोनार्क बटरफ्लाइज डू नॉट टेस्ट गुड टू बर्ड्स, या फिर वॉइसरॉय बटरफ्लाइज को मोनार्क बटरफ्लाइज को एक्चुअली में कोई भी बर्ड नहीं खाती. उन्हें ये चीज़ प्रूव करना था और उन्होंने अपने प्रोजेक्ट से ये प्रूव किया कि एक बर्ड है जिसे बोलते हैं स्टार्लिंग. स्टार्लिंग इज़ अ टाइप ऑफ अ बर्ड. स्टार्लिंग बर्ड को मोनार्क बटरफ्लाइज इतनी पसंद है कि वो उन्हें सारी खा सकती है एक टाइम में. इनफैक्ट दिस बर्ड इज़ अ वेरी चूज़ी बर्ड हु डजेंट ईट नॉर्मल बर्ड फूड. मतलब ये जो बर्ड है ये बहुत चूज़ी है अपने खाने पीने की हैबिट में, और जो नॉर्मली चिड़ियों का खाना होता है वो स्टार्लिंग को नहीं पसंद. बट इट लव्स टू ईट मोनार्क बटरफ्लाई एंड इट कैन ईट मैनी मोनार्क बटरफ्लाइज एट one time. So hence this was proved by Richard Ebright that this is not true that monarch butterfly is not eaten by birds, but there are some birds who really eat only monarch butterflies. Ebright said later research by other people showed that viceroys probably do copy the monarch. This project was placed in the zoology division and 3rd overall in the county science fair. Now his project related to Viceroy and monarch butterfly, this was actually displayed in the zoology division also and in the county science fair also, and won many prizes. Okay, now we'll come to page number 36. In his second year in school, Richard Ebright began the research that led to his study of unknown insect hormone. Indirectly, it also led to his new theory on the life of cells. Now, when Richard Ebright was in the second year of high school, he started, he began the research on the insect hormone, an unknown insect hormone which was secreted on the butterfly. Now this insect was butterfly, and there was a hormone secreted in butterfly's body, and on that hormone he started he started to begin some research. Now going forward in his research, and during the research he also developed a new theory which was on the life of cells, and this theory made him very famous, and it was the most remarkable work of any scientist at that age. That was the theory on the life of cells. Now, as you all know that every living organism is made up of cells. Okay. The question he tried to answer was simple. What is the purpose of 12 tiny gold spots on a monarch pupa? Now underline this line, students. Now what was the purpose of his new theory of hormones? His purpose was that there are tiny gold spots on the monarch pupa. मतलब मोनार्क बटरफ्लाई जब फीमेल बटरफ्लाई एग्स ले करती है, एग्स में से कैटरपिलर निकलता है, एंड कैटरपिलर प्यूपा में बदलता है. सो द स्टेज बिटवीन एन अडल्ट बटरफ्लाई एंड अ कैटरपिलर इज कॉल्ड प्यूपा. सो रिचर्ड एब्राइट का ये पर्पस था कि प्यूपा की बॉडी पे 12 tiny golden spots होते हैं. So Ebright wanted to clear whether these gold spots are ornamental or it has some purpose. Everyone assumed the spots were just ornamental, Ebright said, but Dr. Huger didn't believe it. सब लोग ये अज्यूम करते थे, मतलब सबका ये मानना था साइंटिस्ट का कि ये जो स्पॉट्स हैं प्यूपा के ऊपर ये एक्चुअली सिर्फ ऑर्नामेंटल हैं. ऑर्नामेंटल मतलब ये सिर्फ डेकोरेशन पर्पस के हैं. लेकिन डॉक्टर यूगर्ट इस चीज़ को नहीं मानते थे. उनका कहना था कि ये जो स्पॉट्स हैं दे हैव सम मेडिकल रीज़न बिहाइंड. टू फाइंड द आंसर, Ebright and other excellent science students first had to build a device that showed that the spots were producing a hormone necessary for the butterfly's full development. Now this full paragraph underline, students. To find the answer, इस चीज़ का आंसर ढूंढने के लिए एब्राइट और उनके एक साथ में एक बहुत एक्सेलेंट साइंस स्टूडेंट था, जिन दोनों ने मिलकर एक डिवाइस बनाई, और इस डिवाइस से ये शो हुआ that those 12 tiny golden spots on the pupa's body were actually secreting a very necessary hormone. मतलब उन गोल्ड स्पॉट से एक हार्मोन सिक्रीट हो रहा है जो कि बटरफ्लाई के प्रॉपर डेवलपमेंट के लिए ज़रूरी है. सो व्हाट इज़ हार्मोन एक्चुअली, स्टूडेंट्स? नाउ I will tell you all. Hormone is a chemical substance which is secreted into the main bloodstream. और ये ही हार्मोन है जो हमारी बॉडी की स्टेबिलिटी, हमारी बॉडी की ग्रोथ, हमारी बॉडी की हेरिडिटी एंड एक्सेट्रा डिटर्मिन करता है. सो दिस हार्मोन्स आर वेरी नेसेसरी फॉर द फुल ग्रोथ ऑफ आवर बॉडी. सो दिस सेम अप्लाइज फॉर द इंसेक्ट्स, दैट इज बटरफ्लाई ऑल्सो. दिस हार्मोन दैट वॉज सिक्रीटेड through the golden spots of the pupa's body was the reason behind the butterfly's full development. This project won Ebright first place in the county fair and entry into the International Science and Engineering Fair. There he won third place for zoology. He also got a chance to work during the summer at the entomology laboratory of the Walter Reed Army Institute of Research. Now उनका जो ये प्रोजेक्ट था रिलेटेड टू द हार्मोन्स ऑफ मोनार्क बटरफ्लाई, इस प्रोजेक्ट को फर्स्ट प्लेस मिला काउंटी फेयर में भी. एट द सेम टाइम ही ऑल्सो गॉट एन अपॉर्चुनिटी टू एंटर द इंटरनेशनल साइंस एंड इंजीनियरिंग फेयर. वहाँ पे उनको थर्ड प्लेस मिला जूलॉजी में. एट द सेम टाइम ही ऑल्सो गॉट अ चांस टू वर्क at the entomology laboratory. Entomology means entomology is a science that deals with the study of insects. So there was a laboratory which deals with the study of insects. उस laboratory में उनको काम करने का opportunity मिली during summer season, and this laboratory was situated in the Walter Reed Army Institute of Research. So this laboratory was a very modern, advanced laboratory with very modernized and developed techniques and devices. So वहाँ पे जाके हर समर सीज़न में वो जाके वहाँ पे काम करते थे और अपने रिसर्च को आगे बढ़ाते थे. उन इस डेवलप टेक्निक और डिवाइसेस से उनके रिसर्च में काफ़ी हेल्प हुई, एंड ही वॉज एबल टू गो मूव फॉरवर्ड विथ ऑल हिज प्रोजेक्ट्स. As a high school junior, Richard Ebright continued his advanced experiments on the monarch pupa. That year, his project won first place at the International Science Fair and gave him another chance to work at the Army Laboratory during the summer. Now, when he was in the high school junior, उस टाइम भी उनके जितने भी एक्सपेरिमेंट्स थे रिलेटेड टू मोनार्क प्यूपा, उन सारे एक्सपेरिमेंट्स और प्रोजेक्ट्स को फर्स्ट प्राइज़ मिला इंटरनेशनल साइंस फेयर में, और अगले साल फिर उन्हें आर्मी की लेबॉरेटरी में, सेम लेबॉरेटरी में काम करने का मौका मिला. इन हिज सीनियर ईयर ही वेंट अ स्टेप फर्दर. नाउ दिस इज इम्पॉर्टेंट स्टूडेंट्स. ही स्टार्ट अंडरलाइनिंग. He grew cells from a monarch's wing in a culture and showed that the cells was divide and develop into normal butterfly wings scales only if they were fed the hormone from the gold spots. Now जब वो अपने सीनियर ईयर में थे, उन्होंने क्या किया, that he grew cells from a monarch wing in a culture. Now understand students, what is the meaning of culture? CULTURA. एक्चुअली कल्चर एक ऐसा इनक्लोज्ड स्पेस को बोला जाता है. मतलब आप एक जगह बनाओ, एक एरिया अलग से स्पेसिफाई, एक एरिया अलग से असाइन कर दो, जहाँ पे किसी एक पर्टिकुलर चीज़ के डेवलपमेंट से रिलेटेड एक एक्यूरेट, एक एब्सोल्यूट टेम्परेचर फिक्स करो, एक एब्सोल्यूट सराउंडिंग फिक्स करो, एक सिनेरियो डेवलप करो जो कि एक पर्टिकुलर ऑर्गेनिज्म के डेवलपमेंट के लिए ज़रूरी है. वो फिक्स टेम्परेचर, वो फिक्स सिनेरियो, वो फिक्स सराउंडिंग, वो फेवरेबल कंडीशंस डेवलप करना, उस चीज़ को बोलते हैं कल्चर. ओके, व्हेन यू डेवलप द फेवरेबल कंडीशंस रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द ग्रोथ ऑफ एन ऑर्गेनिज्म, दैट इज़ कॉल्ड कल्चर. सो उसने कुछ सेल्स लिए मोनार्क विंग के और उस सेल्स को उस कल्चर में ग्रो किया. तो उसने ये रियलाइज़ किया कि वो सारे सेल्स एक बटरफ्लाई के विंग्स में डेवलप हो जाते हैं तभी जब उनको उस गोल्ड स्पॉट्स के थ्रू हार्मोन सिक्रीट होता है, एंड देन दे डेवलप इनटू द विंग्स कल्चर, एन अडल्ट बटरफ्लाई विंग. सो हाउ कैन a monarch butterfly's wing cells develop into a monarch developed wing when it is fed through the hormone that is secreted from the gold spots. This clearly and accurately proves that the hormone that is secreted from the gold spots are responsible for the development of the cells and the development of the full body of monarch butterfly. So culture में develop करके उन्होंने ये चीज़ prove करी थी. The project won first place for zoology at the international fair. He spent the summer after graduation doing further work at the Army Laboratory and at the laboratory of the US Department of Agriculture. Now हर summer season वो graduation करते करते Army Laboratory में अपना बिताते थे, and he used to also work at the laboratory of US Department of Agriculture. The following summer, after his freshman year at Harvard University, Ebright went back to the laboratory of the Department of Agriculture and did more work on the hormone from the gold spots. Now, when it was his first year at the Harvard University, Ebright अपनी गर्मियों की छुट्टियों में again he went to the laboratory of the Department of Agriculture, और वहाँ जाके उन्होंने कुछ और ऐसे प्रोजेक्ट्स से एक्सपेरिमेंट्स करे on the same hormone of the monarch butterfly, those gold spots and the hormones. Using the laboratory's sophisticated instruments, he was able to identify the hormone's chemical structure. Now underline these last two lines of the paragraph, students. Using the laboratory's sophisticated instruments, मतलब जो laboratory में उस US डिपार्टमेंट की एग्रीकल्चर लेबॉरेटरी में जो इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स थे, जो डिवाइसेस थे, वो बहुत ज़्यादा सोफिस्टिकेटेड, दैट मीन्स बहुत ज़्यादा डेवलप थे, मॉडर्न थे, और उनका यूज़ करते हुए एब्राइट ने उस मोनार्क बटरफ्लाई के हार्मोन का केमिकल स्ट्रक्चर को स्टडी किया. The chemical structure of the hormone that is secreted from the monarch pupa's body. A year and a half later, during his junior year, Ebright got the idea of his new theory about cell life. It came while he was looking at X-ray photos of the chemical structure of hormone. Now, a year and a half later, जब वो अपने junior year में थे, तब उनको एक idea आया related to cell life, the life of cells. Every living organism has cells. हर एक living organism के अंदर cell होती है और इस cell को के बारे में वो एक नई थ्योरी के साथ उभरे. जब वो बटरफ्लाई का हार्मोन मतलब मोनार्क बटरफ्लाई के प्यूपा के ऊपर जो गोल्ड स्पॉट्स हैं उससे जो हार्मोन सिक्रीट होता है उसका केमिकल स्ट्रक्चर जब वो एक एक्सरे फ़ोटो के थ्रू स्टडी कर रहे थे तभी उनको सेल लाइफ के बारे में एक नई थ्योरी की जानकारी मिली. When he saw these photos, Ebright didn't shout Eureka or even I've got it, but he believed that along with his findings about insect hormones, the photos give him the answer to one of the biology's puzzles. How the cell can read the blueprints of its DNA. Underline this line. How the cell can read the blueprint of its DNA. Keep underlining, students. DNA is the substance in the nucleus of a cell that controls heredity. It determines the form and function of the cell. Thus, DNA is the blueprint of life. Underline till life. Okay. जब वो एक्सरे फ़ोटो स्टडी कर रहे थे बटरफ्लाई के हार्मोन के केमिकल स्ट्रक्चर को, तो उस फ़ोटोज़ को स्टडी करते करते उनको एक बहुत बड़े पज़ल का सॉल्यूशन मिला. नाउ जब उनको ये सॉल्यूशन मिला तो ना ही उन्होंने यूरेका चिल्लाया ना ही उन्होंने चिल्लाया I've got it. Now what is the meaning of eureka? Eureka means an expressions in which you express that you have won something. आपने कुछ जीत लिया हो उसे बोलते हैं दिस विनिंग एक्सप्रेशन इज कॉल्ड यूरेका या फिर I've got it. बट उनको ये समझ में आ गया कि इंसेक्ट हार्मोन को पढ़ते पढ़ते उनको बायोलॉजी के बहुत बड़े पज़ल का सॉल्यूशन मिला. और पज़ल क्या था? हाउ कैन द सेल रीड ब्लूप्रिंट ऑफ इट्स DNA. मतलब सेल जो होती है वो DNA के बारे में सब कुछ कैसे जान लेती है. ब्लूप्रिंट, यू नो द एग्जैक्ट इन्फॉर्मेशन. You know, how can the cell read the exact information about the DNA? Now, where is the DNA situated? There is a cell in every living organism. Cell के अंदर होता है nucleus, nucleus के अंदर होता है chromosomes, and inside the chromosome there is this DNA. DNA is a substance which is in the nucleus of the cell, nucleus then chromosome and then DNA, which is inside the cell. जो कि हमारी हेरिडिटी कंट्रोल करता है, हमारी हेरिडिटी डिटर्मिन करता है. DNA एक्चुअली डिटर्मिन्स द हेरिडिटी. इट टेल्स अस अबाउट अ फादर्स, forefathers. It tells us about our ancestors, the habits, the characteristics, the features, the physical features and the biological features, the illness, the factors, the allergies, etc. And there are many things which we inherit from our ancestors, from our fathers, from our forefathers, from our family, and all this is called heredity. So this heredity is particularly determined by the substance that is present in the nucleus of our body and which is present again in the cell. So how can the cell read the exact information about the DNA? ये चीज़ के बारे में उनको पता पड़ गया था. Now it determines the form and function of the cell. The DNA is the blueprint of life. और जो DNA है वो हमारी लाइफ का ब्लूप्रिंट है. हम कहाँ से बिलोंग करते हैं, हमारी हेरिडिटी क्या है, all this is determined by DNA. Okay. Ebright and his college roommate James R. Wong worked all that night during pictures and constructing plastic models of molecules to show how it could happen. Together they later wrote the paper that explained the theory. अब उनके रूममेट जिनका नाम था जेम्स आर वोंग, इन दोनों ने पूरी रात काम किया. इन्होंने पिक्चर्स बनाए, मॉडल्स बनाए, जिससे ये शो होता था कि कैसे ये थ्योरी इनकी सही है. Surprisingly, no one who knew him, Richard Ebright, graduated from Harvard with highest honors, second in the class of 1510. Ebright went on to become a graduate student researcher at Harvard Medical School, where there he began doing experiments to test his own theory. Now रिचर्ड एब्राइट ग्रेजुएट हुए हार्वर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी से विथ हाईएस्ट मार्क्स, हाईएस्ट ऑनर्स. उसके बाद ही बिकेम अ ग्रेजुएट स्टूडेंट रिसर्चर. मतलब एक ग्रेजुएशन करते करते स्टूडेंट एज अ स्टूडेंट वो हार्वर्ड मेडिकल स्कूल में ही रिसर्च सेंटर में भी काम करने लगे एज अ रिसर्चर. वहाँ पे वो अपने एक्सपेरिमेंट्स और अपनी थ्योरीज पे वर्क करते थे. If the theory proves correct, it will be a big step towards understanding the processes of life. It might also lead to new ideas for preventing some types of cancer and other diseases. All of this is possible because of Ebright's scientific curiosity. High school research into the purpose of the spots on the monarch pupa eventually led him to his theory about cell life. Now, अगर ये theory कि cell life जो सेल है वो डीएनए को पढ़ सकती है, डीएनए के एग्जैक्ट इन्फॉर्मेशन रीड कर सकती है, इट कैन रीड द ब्लूप्रिंट्स ऑफ द डीएनए. अगर ये चीज़ करेक्ट प्रूफ होती है तो हम बहुत सारे बायोलॉजिकल पजल्स का, बायोलॉजिकल कन्फ्यूजन्स का सॉल्यूशन निकल सकता है हम इस थ्योरी से. थ्रू दिस थ्योरी वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड द प्रोसेसेस ऑफ लाइफ, वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड द बायोलॉजिकल साइकिल ऑफ एवरीवन's, of each living organism's life. We can even find solutions to many types of cancers and many types of other prolonged diseases. Like every living organism has a biological cycle. At different stages of life, our body, the factors of our body, the condition of our body changes, and we become more and more tend towards and prone towards illnesses. So what are these reasons behind the processes of life? What are these reasons behind the changes in the biological cycle? All this will be determined if this theory proves correct, that is the relationship between cell and the DNA. Now, Richard Ebright has been interested in science since he first began collecting butterflies, but not so deeply that he hasn't time for other interest also. Now, Richard Ebright as a child was very interested in science and he had a passion towards collecting butterflies. लेकिन इसके साथ साथ ही उन्हें और भी बहुत सी ऐसी फील्ड्स थी जिसमें इंटरेस्ट था. Ebright also became a champion debater and public speaker and a good canoeist and all-round outdoor person. He is also an expert photographer, particularly of nature and scientific exhibits. Now, एक बहुत अच्छे साइंटिस्ट या रिसर्चर के अलावा वो एक बहुत अच्छे डिबेटर थे. ही वॉज अ पब्लिक स्पीकर and he was a good canoeist. Now, canoe is C-A-N-O-E. Canoe is a boat which is paddled by a long rod paddle kind of a thing. So, he was a good canoeist who used to paddle this boat very nicely, and he was an all-rounder kind of a person. He was good at every task. He is also an expert photographer. Now, when it comes to photography, he used to do his photography very well. पर्टिकुलरली नेचर की फ़ोटोग्राफी करते थे या जो भी साइंटिफिक एग्जिबिट्स होते थे, मीन्स एग्जिबिशन करना किसी भी साइंटिफिक डिवाइस की, कुछ रिसर्च की, कुछ एक्सपेरिमेंट्स की, तो उसकी फ़ोटोग्राफी भी वो बहुत अच्छी करते थे. In high school, Richard Ebright was a straight A student. Straight A student means an outstanding student. Because learning was easy, he turned a lot of his energy towards the debating and Model United Nations Club. नाउ क्योंकि वो उनके लिए लर्न करना बहुत ज़्यादा ईजी था, तो वो डिबेटिंग या मॉडल यूनाइटेड नेशन क्लब में बहुत ज़्यादा पार्टिसिपेट करते थे. ही ऑल्सो फाउंड समवन टू एडमायर. Richard A. Verrier, his social studies teacher and advisor to both clubs. Mr. Verrier was the perfect person for me then. He opened my mind to new ideas, Ebright said. मतलब इस क्लब के एक पार्टिसिपेटिंग मेंबर थे जिनका जो एडवाइज़र थे इस क्लब के, उनका नाम था रिचर्ड ए वेरियर, जो कि एब्राइट के सोशल स्टडीज़ टीचर भी थे. ये मिस्टर रिचर्ड ए वेरियर जो थे ये बहुत ज़्यादा एडमायर करते थे एब्राइट को और बहुत ज़्यादा हेल्प करते थे उनकी और एनकरेज करते थे एंड यूज्ड टू गिव हिम न्यू आइडियाज़. Richard always gave that extra effort, Mr. Verrier said. What pleased me was there was this person who put in 3 or 4 hours at night doing this debate research beside doing all his research with butterflies and his other insects. Now Mr. Verrier का ये कहना था that Ebright puts extra effort into every activity, मतलब जो भी वो काम करते थे Ebright वो उन हर चीज़ में कुछ एक्स्ट्रा एफर्ट डालते थे, ये मिस्टर वेरियर का कहना था। वो ये भी बोलते थे कि जब वो अपनी डिबेट के ऊपर रिसर्च करते थे, नाउ डिबेट पे जब हम बोलते हैं किसी भी टॉपिक के फॉर या अगेंस्ट में, तो हमें उस टॉपिक के बारे में बहुत ज़्यादा रिसर्च करना होता है, देन ओनली वी विल बी एबल टू सप्रेस द sayings of the other person, the opposite person sitting opposite to us. So जब वो डिबेट के लिए रिसर्च करते थे, उसी टाइम in a parallel manner he also used to continue with his research on butterflies and other insects. So means parallel manner में वो एक बार में दो चीज़ें बहुत ही अच्छे से और बहुत ही efficiently कर लेते थे, just because he used to put in extra efforts into all his activities. Richard was competitive, Mr. Verrier continued, but not only in a bad sense. Now this full paragraph, students, you have to underline this paragraph in the next paragraph. So means page number 37 के last दोनों paragraph तुम लोग underline कर लो. Now Mr. Verrier continued that Richard बहुत ज़्यादा competitive थे, but not in a bad sense. मीन्स रिचर्ड के अंदर एक कॉम्पिटिटिव स्पिरिट थी, ही ऑलवेज वॉन्टेड टू विन द कॉम्पिटिशन्स, बट हिज कॉम्पिटिटिव स्पिरिट वॉज नॉट इन अ बैड सेंस. ऐसा नहीं था कि रिचर्ड चाहते थे कि बाकी सब हार जाएं, सिर्फ वो ही जीतें, ऐसा नहीं था. वो ये चाहते थे कि जो भी वो काम करें, दैट वर्क शुड बी परफेक्टली डन, इट शुड बी 100% एरर प्रूफ, फ्लॉलेस. ही एक्सप्लेन्ड Richard was not interested in winning for winning's sake or winning to get a prize. Rather, he was winning because he wanted to do the best job he could. For the right reasons, he wanted to be the best. Now, Richard wanted to be the best and he wanted to win, not because just for the sake of prize, just for the name's sake or for the sake of pride, और के बाकी के लोग हार जाएं, मैं जीत जाऊं, ऐसा उनके मोटिव या नोशंस नहीं होते थे. He always wanted to be flawless in his work, and that was the reason that he used to win. And that is one of the ingredients in making of a scientist. Now this is important. What is the main the meaning of the title of the chapter, making of a scientist? मतलब हम जब कोई रेसिपी बनाते हैं, कोई खाने पीने की रेसिपी बनाते हैं, तो हम उसमें बहुत सारे इंग्रेडिएंट्स डालते हैं बिल्कुल राइट अमाउंट में, तब जाके हमारा वो फूड आइटम बहुत ज़्यादा डिलीशियस बनता है. Similarly, if you want to become a scientist, then you have to mix some ingredients into your life. You have to mix some factors into your life. You have to bring about a change in your life in the very right amount, in the very right sense. Then only you can become a successful scientist. Now, what are the ingredients? Start with a first-rate mind. Add curiosity and mix in the will to win for the right reason. Okay, now the author is saying over here that in order to become a great scientist, you need three things. First of all, an excellent, outstanding, sharp mind, a clear mind without any confusions. Second thing, we have to add curiosity to all our activities and thoughts. मतलब हर चीज़ को करने की, समझने की, जानने की जो जिज्ञासा होती है, वो हमको अपने दिल और अपने दिमाग में ऐड करनी पड़ेगी. And the third thing is the will to win. The will मतलब वो determination to will, but for the right reasons, in a positive manner with positive vibes. So these three things: an excellent, outstanding, clear mind, curiosity, and the will to win for the right reason with the right object in mind. These three things, if we will mix together, we can become a great scientist. Ebright has these qualities. From the time the book The Travels of Monarch 10 opened the world of science to him, Richard Ebright has never lost his scientific curiosity. He is saying उनके अंदर वो सारी क्वालिटीज़ थी, और जब से उनको वो बुक मिली थी द ट्रैवल ऑफ मोनार्क 10, इट ओपन द वर्ल्ड ऑफ साइंस टू हिम, एंड दैट वाज a never ending process for him. Throughout his life he kept doing experiment, and his scientific curiosity was never lost. So this is how a child became a great scientist, just because of his curiosity and hard work. Okay students, the chapter is completed. Thank you.